everyone, welcome back to CBSE Learners. This is me Pooja and Rao. I welcome you all to my online classes where you can learn absolutely free of cost. Today's class is for my class 8 students. In this class, I will be teaching you the poem Geography lesson from class 8 NCERT textbook, and it's written by poet Zulfikar Ghosh. Okay, so first we have to learn something about the poet. Okay, it's very important to know about the poet who is writing the poem. Okay, so Zulfikar Ghosh is a Pakistani American novelist. So from the title or the surname, you might be thinking he is Indian or he is Bengali, because there is a surname like Ghosh in Bengali, but actually it's not. Zulfikar Ghosh is a Pakistani American novelist. Okay, he was born in Texas. Okay, so he was a resident of Texas, and he was a poet, novelist and essayist. His works are primarily magical realism, based on reality. Magical realism means it's based on reality. Like see the geography lesson. This is based on reality. How you will see in this chapter, you will be reading how it will be when you, how the structure of the earth will be, how the land looks like when you see it from the 1,000 miles, from the 6 feet above. Okay, so blending fantasy and harsh realism. So everything will be in reality, harsh reality or the harsh truth of life. He was born on March 13, 1935. He is actually of 86 years. Okay, so this is about the poet Zulfikar Ghosh, and now let me write down the poem and explain to you. So first let me explain you the first stanza of the poem. So the first stanza of the poem is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. Okay, so in first stanza, the poet is saying that when the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had. Actually, see, when we stay in the middle of the city, we think, what is this? The city is not planned, it is unplanned. But when the jet, or you can, jet means a jet plane or any rocket you can say, or a plane. Okay, so aeroplane. So when the jet plane sprang into the sky, above the sky, when it reached to some distance above the ground, okay, above the ground, when the jet has reached, it was very clear to the poet that why the city, how the city looks like, and everything is very well planned. But when the poet is in the middle of the city, it looks very unplanned. Okay, there seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned and without style when the jet sprang into the sky. Okay, inevitable means that cannot be avoided. Okay, inevitable. It means that cannot be avoided. Inevitable. Okay, so there seems an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned and without style when the jet sprang into the sky. So first stanza is clear that when the jet sprang, when the jet reached above the ground, then it to the 6 inches to the mile. Okay, so there came the he understood that why the city looks very planned. While he was on the ground, he was thinking that the city is very unplanned, okay, and without style. Okay, now see in the second stanza, when the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. The logic of geography, that the land and the water attracted man, was clearly delineated when the jet reached 10,000 feet. Okay, so delineated means shown. Okay, the word delineated means shown. Okay, so See, in the first stanza, the jet reached only 6 feet to miles. Okay. So in the second stanza, when the jet reached far more higher than before, above the ground, to some 10,000 feet, it was very clearly evident why the country are having cities, and where the rivers are running. Okay, so where the rivers are running, and what is the reason why valleys are more densely populated? Because valleys why will be mostly populated? Because of water and land, isn't it? And here comes the logic of geography, and the apt title of the, and you can say that the title is apt as geography lesson, okay, of the poem. Now see the logic of geography. Now what is the logic of geography? In geography, I think in most of your classes you have read about resources, the chapter resources. Okay, so in the chapter resources you have read that water, soil and fertile soil, water and soil attract people, okay, or man. So the places where you get more water, accessibility to more water and soil, fertile soil for doing crops or for doing agriculture, okay, there it is more populated rather than some places where you don't get access of land and water. Those places are sparsely populated. So here comes the logic of geography, and it is clearly delineated. That means it is clearly shown when the jet reached the 10,000 feet. Okay. So I hope this stanza is clear to you. So in first stanza you have read when the jet sprang from the ground above the ground from somewhat 6 feet to the miles. It has shown you that the cities and the earth is well planned, and why it is very well planned. Okay. Now when the jet reached above the ground to some 10,000 feet, it is very clearly evident all the logic of geography. Okay. Now comes the third paragraph. Okay. Now see, in the third stanza, when the jet rose 6 miles high, so first it was 6 inches to 1 mile. Okay. So when in the first stanza, don't confuse with the first stanza and the third stanza. Okay. In the first stanza, it was only just 6 inches to 1 mile. Okay. And then it came 10,000 feet, and later it came 6 miles high. Okay. The third stanza is 6 miles high. When the jet reached 6 miles high, it was clear that the earth was round. So when the poet is looking from the 6 miles high, he can understand that the shape of the earth is round. Actually, we are not living inside the earth. Actually, we are living on the surface of the earth, above the, means on the earth, not inside the earth, isn't it? So when the jet sprang on to the sky, or it's reached at least 6 miles, then it is very clearly understood that why the earth is round and the shape of the earth is round, and that it had more sea than land. And we have learned in our geography classes and in our geography syllabus that we have more water compared to land, isn't it? So but it was difficult to understand that the men on the earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities and to kill. From that height, it was not clear why. So see, this poem, geography lesson, you might think that it's just a simple poem, isn't it? That the poet is saying you about the logic of geography and the structure of the earth, isn't it? But actually, it's giving you a beautiful message. Now, what is the message? You see, everything is clearly evident from that height, from 6 inches to 6 miles above the earth's surface. But it is not clear that why we human beings hate each other. See, there are a lot of boundaries or borders, isn't it, between each other. Like see, between every country there is a border. We have separated our land because of why? Because of rivalries, isn't it? So that no one can enter and no one can go without permission to the other country. So it is not clearly evident why there are lots of borders and boundaries. Human beings, even the home we are staying, will protect our homes with boundary walls, will fence it, isn't it? So why we do that? To protect us from other human beings or some animals, isn't it? Mostly from the thief. Now, why we are harming each other, isn't it? The main reason is we think that the other person can harm us. For that sake, we think to boundary ourselves, to guard ourselves. For that, we create borders, we create boundaries besides our home. So, it is not clear why we do that, because of the hate. And the main thing the poet is saying, that why to hate each other? We are all human beings, we are all mortal, and we will die one day. Then why to hate each other and why to kill each other, isn't it? So this is the message the poet is giving, that everything is cleared from above the earth's surface except the point that why human beings kill each other and why they surround themselves with boundary. Why they surround themselves with boundary? Because of the hate, and they think that someone may harm them. And why to hate? So the message is why to hate other human beings. Okay, so this poet is of 3 stanzas only, and I hope this poem is very clear to you. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, just hit the like button and just subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed it. Okay, thanks a lot for staying tuned with us. Take care. Bye.